providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Oh, yes, it is. Welcome into On the Block, brought to you by NEBCO. I'm Austin Norman, joined as always by Husker Hall of Fame, 9-year NBA vet, Big 8 Rookie of the Year, all-defense team in the history of the world. My partner, the Ford Mustang, joined by myself, the Ford Pinto, Eric Strickland. How you feeling, partner?
Are you still Ralph Tresvant today about the Pinto?
How am I supposed to get over that in 24 hours? Has there been a more memed car than the Ford Pinto? And you expect me to get over it in 24 hours?
The Pinto was a stapleton of American, design might. It got us through. Austin, listen. I had literally the first version of the Hyundai, which was called an Excel. And when I tell you it didn't make it through the Nebraska winter, it would do this in the wintertime of these, just like it's brisk iced tea outside right now. That thing wouldn't start up. It was a automatic, not an automatic. Manual? It was a manual transmission, and it was a stroke. And then when I tell you entering the highway,
danger zone.
It didn't have no pop on it. It was. I felt like I had to get behind that thing and push it a little bit. So no, man, your Pinto was better than what I had working.
All right. No. Fair enough. I'll try to get over it by the next time we talk, which will be a post game tonight after Nebraska and Indiana. We will talk about that game coming up here in just a little bit. Stricky, when it's cold outside, how do you hunker down? What are you doing at the crib when it's this cold outside?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. That's what I do, man. I sit there, heater on. I don't got the fireplace in there. Otherwise, there would be some logs or something going on, even if it's an automatic, something.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get toasty in there and, do what I do. Read, have me some coffee, maybe some hot chocolate, That's how I would go down in the Strickland house.
I respect it. I like it. Text line says the Pinto cost Lee Iacocca his job. The Pinto was a rolling firebomb. Hate on the Pinto on the text line, Stricky.
There's a lot of hate on the Pinto. I thought the Pinto was popping.
You're just trying to spin it.
The Pinto was popping back in the day, and people wanted the Pinto.
You're trying to spin it.
There's a lot of.
They prefer the kidney or the chili, not the Pinto.
You remember those? No, let me be quiet. We're on the radio.
Cubs chimes in with an MLB trade. Kyle Tucker to the Cubs. The Astros get Hayden Wesneski, Isaac Paredes, and Cam Smith in return. I like getting Tucker, but I don't like the fact we gave up the next Chris Bryant and bullpen/starter piece. Besides, the Cubs have too many outfielders. This all but assures Cody Bellinger is getting traded. I'll handle this one. The Cubs.
Does Tricky Nicky like that?
Tricky Nicky's all over it.
He's all over.
We got the hey tweet from Nick. We're just waiting for hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are going to win today. That's all we're waiting on from Nick. I don't hate this for both sides. Wesneski is major league piece, not consistent, got some growth, but he's fine. Paredes was a guy that the Cubs, I believe, just got from the Rays not too long ago. Interesting piece. I don't think he's anything more than he's an everyday starter, which is good. And Cam Smith, we'll have to see what he develops into. And here's the other part about this, Strick. The Cubs have been a team over the last 5, maybe even 10 years that, despite being in a big market, haven't been run like one. Right? They're not doing the Lakers thing. They're not doing the Knicks thing.
That's a fact.
The Yankees thing, the Dodgers thing, whatever it is, despite being in the third largest market in the country, in Chicago. Both the Cubs and the White Sox have operated like small market teams. Okay, more power to them. It's their owner's choice. But then you can't be shocked by the results, right? The Cubs have that World Series run led by Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Javi Baez, Jake Arrieta, that whole team. Kyle Hendricks was there as well. They made it work, and then they weren't able to sustain, right? All that young talent, Stricky. You think you lock up one or two of those guys, keep them around for a while. Well, what ends up happening is Chris Bryant gets injured, gets shipped out to Colorado, gets even more injured. Javi Baez, people start remembering that, oh, wait, he swings at everything. Literally everything. Throw a slider, misses home plate by 10 feet. Javi Baez is swinging at it. And Anthony Rizzo just kind of fell off, just normal age and deterioration. But they didn't pay to keep the band together, but they also didn't replace necessarily. Drafting hasn't been good. Development hasn't been good. And they haven't been players in free agency. So if I was a Cubs fan, is it maybe a little pricey for a year, I think, maybe 2, but it might only be 1 year of Kyle Tucker. He's a really good player. He's probably going to end up worth it. And I would just say, be excited that your team made a big move, because so often, Strick, these big market teams try to cry poor, pretend they're small teams, regardless of the sport. So if I was a Cubs fan, I would say, hey, look, ownership was actually proactive on this one.
Well, they've got to do something. They've got to do something. You hit. Breaking news.
We got Rico Suave in here.
Breaking news.
Well, we got Rico.
Ladies and gentlemen, they did it.
Hook him?
No.
Dang.
Roll damn Jays. Creighton has just come on.
No.
Turn the mic
no.
on.
No.
Unbelievable.
We're not talking Creighton.
Turn the mic on.
You do not get
it.
a praise. You don't get a praise Creighton on my show.
They deserve some credit.
They do not.
They deserve some credit. That's huge.
The Creighton Blue Jay volleyball team has just beaten 2-time defending champion Texas in the Super Regional semifinal up in Penn State.
Congratulations. UConn lost 3 times in Maui.
They lost the first set 24-26, and then they won 25-19, 25-21, 25-20.
Wow.
Gross.
To take down Texas and face the winner of Penn State Marquette.
Wow. Hey, listen.
Nittany Lions, baby.
Listen.
Their time to shine.
Massive upset.
Listen, you weren't here.
It was not a massive upset.
That is
Texas
a
not
massive.
that good this
That
year.
is a massive upset.
No.
Austin, come on.
Texas is not the same team this year as they were the last 2 years.
Last year,
look where they were seated.
They were seated pretty much the same as last year.
Austin
They
was,
were not. They were
Austin
not
was
supposed
praising
to.
Kalkbrenner and all of them and how they started this year and was all surprised that Nebraska clipped them.
Come on.
Now all of a sudden he
Come
want to
on.
act funny.
Come on. He is the
Unbelievable.
I'm not praising
He is-
Creighton.
he is
Texas is
the-
not the same.
He
They
is
are
the
not the
only
same.
person in Nebraska that wasn't rooting
Drinking
for Creighton
some
to
he-
beat Texas.
Drinking some
Why would I
haterade.
root for Creighton?
Because it's Texas.
Why would I do that?
Because it's Texas.
He don't remember what,
In the
what,
volleyball
what
context,
they did and
you
the way
hate
they.
both of these teams.
He doesn't
Yeah.
remember what Sue.
You play Creighton every year. You don't play Texas every year.
Yeah, but you don't
Down
want
with
Texas.
Creighton.
But you don't want Texas to make
No,
it.
of course I don't. But I don't want Creighton to make it either.
They have to face Penn State. They'll be good.
Gosh,
But also, you praise yourself as the volleyball capital of the world.
that part.
What
I
better?
don't.
What better? Stop it. What better opportunity to showcase that than having Creighton and Nebraska in the Final Four?
That's
facing
what I
each
was
other?
about to
Capital of
say
the world does not
until he
travel
cut
east
me
on
off.
I-80.
I was about
Volleyball
to
capital
say
of the
that,
world is Central
Rico.
and Western Nebraska. only.
Rico,
This
I was
guy.
about to say you weren't here, and I had brought it up on how Nebraska had like I think what six teams ranked in like the top 10
Yeah.
of when you're talking from JUCO
Yep.
all the way up.
Shout out to Bellevue University, runner-up
Even
in
then, runner-up in
NAIA, I
NAIA.
think.
No, they are
I believe
NAIA.
so.
They are NAIA.
Midland, Concordia were doing really
Concordia.
well. Kearney, Wayne State.
Poor Lopers, RIP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid Washburn.
But
And
I've
stupid
got to
Creighton.
give credit for them. I've got to give credit.
It's fine.
good
You
time.
can be upset. I just wanted people to know Creighton has upset the two-time defending national champion Texas in the Penn
Creighton
State
was seated higher.
Penn State Super Regional, and will go on to face the winner between Penn State and Marquette.
Okay, so when UConn gets a 4 seed and loses to a 1 seed in March, is that going to be an upset?
Yes.
It is not going to be an upset.
It'll be an upset.
It will not be.
Depending on who it is. I don't care that Creighton was seated higher. They play in the Big East. The Big East is with all due respect to the Big East, a terrible volleyball
So when
conference.
1 seed Gonzaga
Yes.
beats 3 seed Kansas,
Upset.
it's an upset.
Upset. Massive upset. You're ridiculous.
Mhm.
You're ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. Two-time defending national champion?
Why are you rooting for Creighton?
Because it's cool.
No, it ain't.
It's not cool to root for Creighton, but it's cool that they beat Texas.
I'm not going to say I didn't want Texas to lose, but I didn't want Creighton to win.
You can root for them in their next match. You can root against them in
No,
their
because
next
now
match.
they have more confidence. They're feeling good. We
They're-
need to crush the vibes as early as possible.
Austin, I mean this in the most respectful way to Creighton. They are not going to beat Penn State.
They better not. But if they do, this is on you.
I hope they do.
This reflects on you.
I hope they do. I hope Creighton and Nebraska meet in the Final Four.
I don't want Creighton getting anywhere close. They don't deserve it.
Okay.
The
there you go.
volleyball state stops as soon as we get out of Lincoln.
I apologize for interrupting your show.
No, thank you for giving us something to yell about. Never again.
I love it.
Louise.
I love it.
This dude is
Tension.
a Creighton lover. I don't get it, Stricky.
I've got to give him credit. I mean, I don't listen. The reason I give him credit, and I will give him credit when they do well. One, I'm a Nebraska homer all the way through and through. I get it though. I get what you're saying. I don't have an affinity for Creighton, but in those situations, there's multiple things that I do. One, I root for the best experience that I had in the NBA. So I could have played in Boston, and when I was rooting for the Mavs in Boston, I loved my time in Boston. That was the second best experience that I had in the league. But I was rooting more for Dallas because that was the best experience that I had in the league. As much as I even like Boston, so I go down that chain. Now anything Grizzlies is last. So if Grizzlies is playing the Pacers,
Even though
though
they're
I
Memphis
like
now?
Ja Wick, even though I like Ja Wick, I like what Ja Wick do on the court. I still would root for the Pacers just because that was my better experience. And so my hierarchy of experience again goes Dallas, Austin. No, Austin.
That's
Dallas,
me. That's your boy.
Boston, Dallas, Boston, New York, Milwaukee, Indiana, Milwaukee, then Vancouver, Memphis. That's the hierarchy of mine. So in sports, in college, always going to root Nebraska. I've taken the lumps and the bumps living in Texas, even when they cheated us with Sue and all of that stuff, with that stuff that went on with Texas, and we understand that.
It did happen.
This is why I like what happened with Creighton being Texas, because I forever had to live in Texas and had to, Big 12 time, had to deal with the bumps and bruises we took against Texas while I was there. Okay. So that's the reason why I'm rooting for them in Creighton in that downfall. Okay. Sports-wise, I will root Nebraska first. Obviously, here. Then, if Creighton's playing somebody that I don't like or they're the underdog, I'll root for them. I'll root for Creighton. It just depends on if they're going against us, I can't stand them. They're going against Nebraska, I can't stand them.
Anyways, I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. I get where
What does the hate come from of Creighton? You
want to know where the hate comes from?
Yes.
Strick, you really want to know?
Yes.
Jealousy. Because my first introduction to Creighton was basketball.
You're petty wop.
I am. To my core. To my core. All my blood is red. I don't have none of that unoxygenated blue blood. It's all red in me. Okay?
Is it because in boxing you have the red corner and the blue corner?
Stricky.
Is it because you have the Democrats and the Republicans? Is it because
you didn't lose to Creighton?
I sure didn't.
And
That's a
I
fact.
missed that. When I was growing up, Creighton was kicking Nebraska's tail, and I hated it.
You hated it in baseball too.
I didn't pay as much attention, but now, yes, I hate it. I abhor Creighton in that series. Stricky, all I wanted was for Nebraska to run the Greg McDermott stuff.
For Christmas?
To play fast, to shoot threes, to score a lot of points, and to win games. And guess what? I didn't get that growing up.
A young man that didn't get.
I didn't get it.
You were the kid that the Grinch had stole your Christmas, and the Grinch was Creighton.
After year after year. I can't forgive him for that.
Okay.
I cannot forgive him for that. Right? I can respect what Coach Booth has done in building that program on the volleyball side. Good for them. But you know who gets the credit for that? Nebraska, for making Creighton raise the bar. John Cook gets credit for Creighton's program, as far as I'm concerned. Coach Booth is a good coach. You know, Greg McDermott, good for you. You know, coming from the Big 12 to Creighton, Iowa State to Creighton. I wanted that for me, Stricky, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Nebraska every single time. It never happened. It never worked out for me. I was subjected to that, and I'm still not over it.
Facts.
Even though I've seen 3 Nebraska wins over Creighton in the last, 7 years, I think it is? No, I'm not rooting for Creighton. And yes, Texas broke my heart too, many times. Guess what? I was there for Wear Red, Be Loud, beat Texas, right? I was around. I wore my shirt. I watched the Big 12 championship game. I remember Texas tearing apart the Big 12 conference. Trust me, I do. Which is why neither team deserved to win that game. I wasn't rooting for any of them. But gun to my head, I have to pick one. I would have preferred Texas. Same thing happened at CHI Health Center not long ago, Stricky.
Yeah.
Creighton welcomes in number 1 Kansas. I have not in my life rooted for the Jayhawks. Some of my best friends on this planet are Jayhawks and have Jayhawk ties.
Yeah.
I've never once rooted for Kansas.
Never once.
And guess what? I got darn close against Creighton, and that didn't work out. Creighton wins solely to spite me. It's the only reason.
Got you. Respect. It's all good.
So what's on your mind? That's what's on my mind.
I see. Let's see. It's going to be an interesting game. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, we're going to be in the building. Shout out to Heavenly Waffles that came through and dropped it like it's hot here. If you didn't get it, you still can. Come on down 1040 O Street. There's some A1 leftovers. Quality. We're going to have A1 Automotive also coming at 2:45. Shout out to Kendall Warnock. They're going to join us for Fit Talk Friday. It's going to be cold. I'm not looking forward to having to brave the briskness of that iced tea. I think there's probably the reason I didn't go to New York for this bowl game. I have a high expectation of better for next year. I'm trying to go to the Citrus Bowl or something like that.
Tell them.
We need to go down south. We bump what's going on the north. Now, if
you sound like an SEC homer.
I will say that if the game was like in Minnesota or Detroit, I would have probably went.
The Fargo Dome.
If I'd known it would have been inside, I probably would have went. But I'm not trying to brave tundra type wind activities. I'm not trying to do it. So
Respect.
that's how I feel.
Transfer portal, Stricky. We got 5 minutes or so. You sent me some numbers. Kind of mind-blowing. What numbers did you find?
Yeah. So we talked about this. We had some really, really good discussion last night on WTF We Talk Facts. You can go back and catch that at theticketfm.com. We Talk Facts, WTF. And we were breaking it down, Austin. And I looked at these numbers, and Harrison had brought up the fact that he believed that 40% of those who went into the portal didn't find a better location for themselves. And so what I shared this with you, I shared it from the standpoint of these numbers have gotten worse. This was actually shared by, and I know why he's doing this stuff. He's Deion Sanders monitors expectations.
Yeah.
He's like a good salesman that's trying to, he knows you're coming in there for the, you got the discount coupon and you're going for the bottom line out the door price. And he's basically trying to monitor your expectations. One, he's creating an atmosphere for retention, as well as those who are coming in. He's basically trying to minimize so that way you ain't got to overdo it. But the numbers speak for themselves. Transfer portal by the numbers. 2,707 FBS football players have entered the portal in 2024.
This would have been before last season.
This
right?
is before last season.
Okay. And we were up to 1,200 on day one of this
Just this season, right? That's 25% of FBS football players that entered the portal in 2024. And the players, and 30% of those that entered the portal never made it out or got signed. So Essence, I think I shared with you, there was a video that I saw, and I watch a lot of stuff on, YouTube or Instagram or whatever. And there was a story of this young lady, and she had an old video camera, right? And there's a reason why I'm sharing this. Stick with me. She had an old video camera, and what she did, she was sitting in her room, and she had two mirrors facing each other. And on the mirror, she was able to look through, see the mirror, and behind her, it looked like a portal. It looked like a freaking like store with just a long corridor that just went forever, right? And she continued to play. She ends up reaching into it, and just like the Matrix, like on the Matrix, when he reached into that mirror, and it started to kind of go, it bubbled like that in the Matrix. She pulled out, paused, and all of a sudden, she continued to go further, and she says, "Well, I'm gonna try this out." She jumps into the portal, walks the halls. You can go look this up. I'm not bullcrapping. She goes in to this portal with her camera. She starts hearing noises, and all of a sudden the camera drops out of the portal, and she don't come out. That means when you jump into the portal, you just know by the numbers you might not come back. I'm just saying. It's a real life story to that. It ain't just jumping into the portal with football.
So my question for you then is, how does it, obviously the question we're all asking is, how does it stop? But
that's the crazy thing.
Who's more responsible? Is it on the players to take a critical thinking approach and look at these numbers and say, my odds aren't as good as I thought they were? Is it on the coaches? Are they not sending the players enough information on the transfer portal? Because here's the thing. You can't reduce players to a statistic, right? Players will stay more likely if you treat them like people, if you have a personal relationship with them. Some kids are gone no matter what. But Strick, I would love to know the percentage of kids that get into the transfer portal not sure of what their next step is, not sure of what they want to accomplish. And so for the kids that are gone, you can try to have the conversation with them. for the kids that are desiring to remain but want leverage for NIL, say, hey, I get why you did that, but maybe let's just pump the brakes a little bit. We're coming to you. Be patient, right? You'll get what you work for. But for those kids that are in the middle, they don't know if they want to stay or go. They can talk themselves into pros and cons of this place or the great unknown. I would love to know what percentage of transfers that is, how much their coaches have talked to them about what their realistic options are and these numbers, and who's advising these kids, telling them to get in or telling them to stay.
So there's the thing about that, right? Sometimes the issue becomes family. He was talking to me about a high star young man. He was at Alabama, and his dad was talking. He didn't have an affinity for a nice feel for Saban, and he thought his son as a freshman should have been playing, so forth and so on. Jumps in the portal, and it was the worst decision he said that he ever made. And he was the father, advocating for the son to do this. Sometimes it's about money, monetary values and gains. Just like if you look at the percentages of those who make it to the NBA or make it to the NFL or make it to a professional level, what those percentages are, those percentages that might make super high earnings, you can look at anything. OnlyFans. Those individuals, everybody, I'm only saying this because it's a numbers thing. Everybody gets on there and they high cap about the fact of how well they're doing and, oh, we're getting to the bag and, oh, we're doing so well, only to find out that of 1,000 people, a percentage of those only make $1,000, and that's a small percentage. Yeah. That's like out of 90%, 10%. 10% of those that are there only make $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
0.1% of those make over $5,000 a month, and 0.001% make over $100,000 a month. But you're so sold on
small numbers,
the small number,
and the big numbers,
right?
Yeah.
You're sold on that, and it's the same thing about this portal. You're sold on what you're seeing on a Dylan Gabriel, or you're seeing on whoever else has jumped in there, and you're hearing those stories and you're hearing what those NIL deals are, but that doesn't speak for the large swath.
Right.
It's the same thing of those who want to be in the entertainment and those who want to be actors, or those who want to be singers or rappers or whatever the case. You only see the small story, but you don't really know the backstory.
Well, it's like what? Only 10% of restaurants make it out of their first year?
Right?
Kind of concept.
You see what I'm saying? That's the big scheme of it all, but it's not the thing that we see. We only see the glitz and the glamour of what we think that number could be for us. And then it's not until we get in there that we find out that, oops, I did it again. I've hurt myself in the transfer portal. Ooh, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Is it Strickney Spears?
Strickney Spears. Yeah, that's what happened. And that's what's going on out here, and it's unfortunate.
Ain't that the truth? Guys, appreciate all your texts on the text line. We had to get off of that, or I would have had an aneurysm. Good stuff from Stricky there on the transfer portal. We're going to go to break. Compare Bill Belichick to some previous NFL coaches who made the jump to college football. Can Bill Belichick be better than some of these cautionary tales? We'll get into that and more when we return.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, mainly cloudy skies to start, then freezing rain arriving this afternoon. Be careful on the roads. Should see a high around 30. Tonight, wintry mix continuing, the low around 28. Tomorrow, we'll see a chance of light rain and snow throughout the day with a high near 40. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker from 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade in Costco.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
Imagine a world where your office IT runs smoothly, securely, and effortlessly. A day where you aren't worried about the next outage or password compromise. At Hamilton, we take care of everything from monitoring and maintenance to security and support. We partner with your business to design integrated technology solutions that fit your needs now and your goals for the future. With on-site and remote IT support options, we're always just a call or click away. Elevate your IT with Hamilton Managed IT. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street.
Everybody Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Blockheads, you're great. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks as well to Nebco for sponsoring the show. If you are a mechanic or you know a mechanic, we direct you to nebcoinc.com or constructorslincoln.com to apply for a job with Nebco, Nebraska's oldest paving company. They've been in business as a family-owned and operated company since 1908. If you have a CDL license or you want to get one, you can also apply at readymixedconcrete.com. They are paying for your CDL training, looking for CDL drivers with a $2,500 hiring bonus as well. 402-464-5685. Stricky, one last thing I think on Bill Belichick that will be interesting to get to is the history of coaches dropping right from college, from the NFL to college football. We talked about what we think will make Bill Belichick successful, but there's been a little bit of a checkered past when you see these coaches drop down from the NFL to college. And Stuart Mandel of The Athletic wrote a piece titled, "Here is Why North Carolina is Going to Regret Hiring Bill Belichick." I already think it's a win for both of these institutions and people, right? A lot of attention for North Carolina for football, more than they ever get. Distraction from a mediocre at best start to a basketball season. For Bill Belichick, maybe he thought it was demeaning, insulting to have to drop down to college first, but he also views it as a slap in the face to the NFL, right? Screw you guys. I'm going to take my ball, go play by my rules. It's all going to be good. But Stuart Mandel Strick brings up 4 examples of coaches that dropped directly from the NFL to college who it didn't go well for. Lovie Smith at Illinois. It was not good. Final record at Illinois, and 56 games, he went 17-39, only got to 500 once, lost the Red Box Bowl. Charlie Weiss started out pretty hot at Notre Dame, 9-3, 10-3, lost the Fiesta and the Sugar Bowl, and then Stricky 3-9, 7-6, 6-6. Then he goes to Kansas, 1-11, 3-9, 2-2 before he's fired. Herm Edwards at Arizona State, scandals galore, recruiting scandals, practicing scandals. Herm Edwards goes 26-20. Okay, so that's fine record-wise. 7-5 with a bowl loss, 7-5 with a bowl win, 2-2 in the COVID season, 8-4 in the 2021 season with a bowl loss, and then 1-2 to start 2022. But again, the scandals more so than anything on or off the field. And then here's this one, Stricky. Nebraska fans, cover your ears. Bill Callahan. But let's not forget, Bill Callahan had Nebraska after a 5-6 first year, 7-4 with a win over Michigan in the Alamo Bowl, and then 9-3 with a loss in the Big 12 championship game and the Cotton Bowl before dipping to 5-7, getting fired, and Bo Pelini comes in. I don't know, man. I'm not going to say those 4 are the end-all, be-all, but those are 4 pretty successful NFL coaches, right? I mean, especially Bill Callahan, the way he's regarded for the offensive line. Lovie Smith in Tampa and in Chicago especially. Right? Think about how good those Bears teams were, made the Super Bowl under him. Charlie Weiss was a respected NFL mind before he dropped down to Notre Dame. And Herm Edwards, DB in the NFL, coached a number of places, had decent success. None of them were Bill Belichick's level, and it all went off the rails for those guys in one way or another.
It's a rarity. It's a rarity that it happens. I mean, you've had college guys that have gone up, but have had college experience and have returned and have become better for it. I think some of the ones that had success, they got up, they learned the professionalism of it. They learned how to navigate the relationships that need to be handled on the professional level. And this is also the reason why I believe that Tyronn Lue was not going to come back here,
right,
or come back to any college. Once you've mastered how to become relational on the professional level, it's a different type of technique. It's less responsibility. It's basically relationship.
Is it less or different responsibility?
It's less. I think it's less.
Okay.
I think it's less.
Okay.
I think it's less responsible. Meaning, if you're not someone like at one point Brad Stevenson or who had absolute total control of the whole dynamic of what's going on, it's less responsibility. Unless you're that, where you're also involved in trades.
Popovich back in the day.
You know what I mean? That's why he probably got more gray hair
and less hair.
You got right. You got to do it. But I know if you're just speaking of coaching, understand your roster, making sure you're going to evaluate in the off season. It's more simplified as a professional coach because you really only have to deal with the egos. Your top tier, it's tiered. It's a caste system.
It is.
You have to know how to deal with your top tier guys, how to manage that relationship, how to get the most out of them without losing them. Because if you lose your top tier guys, you're done. It's a wrap. It's only a matter of time because they're not going to play for you. The middle guys aren't going to follow you because the top tier guys are not bought in by what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, it's just a matter of time because you're going to be the first one in any droppage that's going to go as opposed to them. So on the other hand, it's not as the same. You can pretty much get rid of guys, send them to the portal, do a lot of things, but you've got to operate and deal with relationships more so on a political scale.
Sure.
As opposed to, all things are political, but I believe the college sports is more political, meaning you've got to deal with presidents, you've got to deal with business owners in the sphere.
Governors.
You know what I'm saying? You've got to know all of that. Now you've got to deal with NIL, and then you've got to deal with transfers, and you got to deal with their parents. And it's just all these different things that you have to deal. You don't have to deal with parents at the pro level. You got to deal with players. You got to deal with their egos, and you got to deal with your management. You don't even really have to deal with the city. That's the GM, and as a coach, you don't have to do with that stuff. You might have to show up and be present for little events and NBA cares and that type of do interviews, but you don't have to like do all the integral details that go with that.
Sure.
So that's the part that you have to do that's different. And this is where I think Bill Belichick will have trouble.
That's fair. I see where you're coming from. And Jameson Lincoln says, none of those coaches won a Super Bowl, though. Those are horrible comps, but it still remains to be seen whether or not Belichick can win without a Tom Brady. Well, the comparison that Jay used yesterday on Old School was Bill Walsh. Bad relationships with his players. Kind of a jerk to him, right? Regretted it up until the day he died. Said, I probably could have won just as many Super Bowls being nice to my guys compared to treating them the way that I did. Bill Walsh coaches 2 years at Stanford in 77 and 78. Wins 9 games, wins 8 games, and 2 bowl games. Comes back in 92 with a 9-win regular season and a bowl win. And then he also goes 4-7 and 3-7-1. So Bill Walsh is the comparison that the Jay throws out there. But Strick, I think the interesting point of James and Lincoln's text here is none of those coaches won a Super Bowl, though. Which, here's why I think that's interesting. You're right. Bill Belichick has had more success in the NFL than all those guys combined. That's undeniable.
Yeah.
But the temptation would be, is Bill Belichick so set in his ways because he is 6-time Super Bowl champion Bill Belichick? You have to adapt or you die, right? Bill Belichick clearly can adapt to trends in football. He set plenty of trends as well. But Charlie Weiss, Lovie Smith, Bill Callahan, Herm Edwards, guys that weren't as successful, what they didn't do was change and adapt. Belichick was so good at changing and adapting, but keeping core principles the same in the NFL. The other guys said my way or the highway. And that's why it didn't work out for him. They couldn't acclimate. They couldn't adjust. That's why I'm willing to give Bill Belichick a shot, is because you don't last that long in professional sports without the ability to maintain your principles and values while still adapting to the era. But the temptation will be, to your point, I'm Bill Belichick. We are doing this my way. I know what's best. And he doesn't adapt to the different level. And
that's the thing. I mean, there's so many things about Bill Belichick that you have to question. One, he's never coached at the level, so there's a learning curve that's involved with that. I think this is why you see some of them do well early and then it tapers off, because there's still a lot of requirements and work and stuff that need to be done, and then it tapers off. I think that's part of why that you have that. I think that a lot of people consider him to be grumpy and have an introverted mindset. And then you're dealing in all of those areas. Like, he's going to get the money early. He's already said he's got the NIL money, but you've got to keep it.
And then increase it.
Right. So now if you have that introverted, don't want to necessarily get out of there, you'll probably do well early on, but then all of a sudden there'll be a tapering off because you've got to maintain these relationships with these young men. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to go long on it because we can come back to it. I know we've got Kendall waiting in the wings. A1 Automotive owner Kendall Warnock is in the building for Fit Talk Friday. I don't want to over talk and leave. I would definitely want to make sure we leave time. We'll go maybe a little bit past 3 with him, just so that we can definitely have our conversation. But, man, this is an interesting topic of discussion, though, Austin.
You guys got a lot more on the text line. I will get to that during break. We'll welcome in our guest for Fit Talk Friday, one of our favorites here at the Ticket, one of your favorites, Kendall Warnock of A1 Automotive. He'll join us in just a moment.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go hog wild, Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. The Rabbit Hole Bakery, located at 8th and Q in the Haymarket, is the ideal place for fresh breakfast items or desserts made daily. Cream puffs, cinnamon rolls, carrot cake, sweet potato pecan cookies, brownies, blondies. Do I need to keep going? What about bread pudding with homemade bourbon caramel sauce? Stop by the Rabbit Hole Bakery at 8th and Q in the Haymarket today to satisfy your cravings. And if you're looking for larger group orders, they do that too. Order ahead on their website at therabbitholebakery.com today.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to HuskerFanTravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or HuskerFanTravel.com.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we are on Fit Talk Friday. Yes, Friday, but it is Fry cold outside, but it is hot in here on the block. And joining us on Fit Talk Friday today is A1 Automotive's finest, the owner, absent of his beautiful queen today, but that's okay. He came in. A1 Automotive is located just right up the block from where we are, a couple blocks north of us here on 1040 in O Street.
Yeah, 11th and L, and I appreciate that plug for my wife. Hopefully she's listening. But I appreciate the opportunity, Strick. It's always good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Austin, it's good to see you. Likewise, it's good to be here. So I'm ready to chop it up with y'all.
That's what. So my thought for having Kendall in here on Fit Talk Friday, and I want you guys to continue to understand, Fit Talk Friday is not necessarily based solely on health and wellness or the health industry, so to say. It's based on financial. It's based on business. It's based on mindset. It's based on psychology. There's a whole gamut of things that you can be fit in. Yeah. And the reason that I thought to bring A1 Automotive, they've been a long time supporter of us here on the ticket and so many things, and definitely in our pre-games and through football and all through, they've been great support for us. And so I thought about it like this, Kendall.
Yeah.
A1 Automotive and what you do in working with cars and bodies and tires and just the whole gamut of dealing with the car. But one thing I've noticed about you as well is that you're up early in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, before 5 o'clock. You're not only reading and studying and getting your mind and your spirit right, you're getting your body right. Yeah. And that is something that is a necessity with regards to your car. Sure. Don't just necessarily bring that car in, keep it fit. Yeah, it's tough to keep it fit by just bringing it in when the lights come on.
When the wheels
you
want to
do right. Sure. Yeah. You want to do those maintenance things just like you do with your body to make sure you're able to have your metabolism. Tell us a little bit about that correlation and how that works.
Strick, I'll tell you what, my routine is I don't deviate from it. My body routine, and then that's how I try to translate and emulate that with our vehicle repairs and maintenance that we do with the great people here in Lincoln that allow us to serve them in that space. And my day starts at 3:30. My alarm clock goes off at 3:30. I'm out of bed. Yeah, I have my prayer time. I typically sit outside on my shop and pray and meditate and prime in the morning. And then that kind of sets the tone for the day. And that's the discipline piece of the equation. I have trained myself over the years to just understand that, hey, this is part of my discipline and part of my regimen, and I'm not deviating from it. And then I translate that into, obviously, the vehicle repairs. Every vehicle that we see that's passing by outside has patterns, but you want to get ahead of those patterns before they become an issue. So the health checks that we do with vehicles over there correlates well with all of us try to make sure that we keep ourselves healthy. The older that we get, the more important it is to maintain our health.
How do we?
Sure.
Here's the thing. There can be, just like in anything, in any business, there's some folks that operate with some shadiness to them. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I know personally because you work on my vehicles.
Sure.
Right? Like, look, I'm not talking to him as if there's something that I'm just trying to throw out to you in the wind. He actually takes care of my vehicles. And for me, it is the trust factor that means also so much when you're dealing with this type of business, because there is so much shadiness that is out there that people do things that it can leave a bad taste in the mouth of those who are out there. How do you overcome that part of it as well?
Well, the stigma of the automotive repair industry has really been, hey, you go in for something and you've got a list of 25 things that need to be done. That's not the case. And respectfully, some places are set up that way. We are not set up that way. Yeah, my father back home just absolutely drilled that into me at a young age, that you take care of people and you do what needs to be done, not what doesn't need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So when we take that approach, we have our core values there. We have the integrity sign set on the back wall when the guys walk out of the shop to get a vehicle, to retrieve a vehicle. They see that sign. Integrity is super important to us. And we take that mentality, hey, what does this vehicle need? And then give them a priority, give anybody a list of, hey, this is what needs to be done, but it doesn't need to be done today. You can wait till the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So the mentality of the automotive industry, and we've gotten a bad rap over the last 20 years, and some of it is due to just some poor management in spaces and poor decision making. But ultimately, I want to sleep well at night. I want to care for others. I want to care for you guys and everybody that's driving through downtown Lincoln. I want to be able to serve them in that space.
Wonderful.
I want to go back to that discipline and regimen thing with you here, Kendall. I think for a lot of people, they'd love to have a routine, something they can rely on, something for consistency and comfortability with it. For you, did that start with a moment in your life or a time in your life where you're like, I need this, I got to dive into this? Or was this just something that, like you said, your dad drilled it into you, it's been a part of you for as long as you can remember?
Well, I tell you, it's been a part of me, but it hasn't been, it hasn't been it just hasn't been the whole part of me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm missing the word there. But when my father passed away, he passed away super early in the morning, around 3:30 in the morning. So that's part of the reason why I do that. I honor him in the morning, but also it sets the tone for the day. For me, I'm an early morning person. Now, people may want to grab a workout at night or in the afternoon, whenever the time of their day allows. But for me, I get my mind right in the morning. I get my workout in, and then I try to serve others.
You got two beautiful kids as well.
Three of them.
Sorry, I see pictures of two of them. So you have three beautiful kids. How does that help you as a father?
Well, they changed. They are the most important thing in my life. And I think all of us as parents preach the same thing. So the older we get,
just text me, Daddy, I need that.
Yeah. Mine are just getting out of school, so I'm probably going to start getting a couple of texts. But nothing is more important than your family, and nor should it be, respectfully. And trust me, I ran that route with our oldest daughter Lola for 10 years when I thought, hey, I need to work 95 hours a week. I tell every young cat that I can get a hold of in this city that is not the way to run the plays. So your children are your legacy. They're the reason why I work hard. They're the reason why I try to be a good human being, be a good friend to you guys, everybody in the community. So kids, nothing is more important to them. No job is more important. No job title is more important
than the job of father.
Being a father is the best, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best.
No doubt. Last question for you, Kendall, because we know you've got to attend business, and we thank you for joining us. But here's the thing: you talked about the why. Let's talk about this. How do you? Would you recommend people as they're doing their maintenance work? Because we're getting into that season now where everybody is about to have these New Year's resolutions.
Sure.
Right. When you're thinking about a car. How do you deal with it? Is it a seasonal thing? Is it based on miles? Is it based on just need? Or is it based on the calendar that is set for you? How would you view that?
Well, Strick, that's a great question. Every vehicle that's passing through down here has patterns. And those patterns, it's a mileage pattern. But most importantly, manufacturers have different patterns in terms of, okay, I can go 30,000 miles before this flush. I can go 50K before this flush. All of them have different patterns. And when you have a vehicle, there's some vehicles that have patterns and timelines you cannot deviate from. Basically, European vehicles, some domestic, but mostly European vehicles. When you hit an interval, you have to do the repairs and the maintenance on those. Otherwise, you're going to get caught with a big bill. So every vehicle out here, I can tell you what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. That's just how my mind works. But if you need help, whoever you're using in the city, if it's a dealership, if it's an independent shop, you just ask them those questions, and hopefully they'll provide the answer. If they don't, give us a call. We will.
There it is. How can they find you, Kendall, both on the phone as well as online? A1 Automotive right here in Lincoln downtown area.
Yeah, A1AutoLincoln.com, 1117 L Street. We are building the second location, 5110 State Hill Drive on 52nd and Yankee Hill. Phone number is 402-477-4660. We're on IG, Facebook. And again, we're always looking for an opportunity to serve others. And if we can do that, if we can help you with a question over the phone, give us a shout. We'll help.
And hey, guess what? We got one more A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show coming up.
Yeah,
bowl game.
Yeah, we're looking for that. Finally, respectfully, that's a great one. The New York. What bowl is that again?
Pinstripe bowl.
It's in New York.
In New Yankee York. Stadium. That's going to be
Boston College. What's I got 27-20 Huskers. That's my prediction.
There it is.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right, man.
I'll take it.
It's good to see you guys.
You as well.
Appreciate
Kendall
it.
Warnock, A1 Automotive, with us on Fit Talk Friday. We'll go to break. Hour 2 of On the Block straight ahead.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season, Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Our annual Teddy Bear Toss Night is coming Friday, December 13th, as the Stars host the Tri-City Storm at 7:05 at the Icebox. Wear your favorite ugly sweater to the game and then bid on the Specialty Stars game-worn ugly sweater jerseys after the game. Secure your seats for our last home game before Christmas now on December 13th by heading to LincolnStars.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to HuskerFanTravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or HuskerFanTravel.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, mainly cloudy skies to start, then freezing rain arriving this afternoon. Be careful on the roads. Should see a high around 30. Tonight, wintry mix continuing, low around 28. Tomorrow, we'll see a chance of light rain and snow throughout the day with a high near 40. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in hour 2 of a Friday show. Hopefully you are getting off work a little early, getting home before any weather hits. Get your work done. Within 2 weeks till Christmas. I know you're looking ahead. So are we. We're also looking ahead to Nebraska men's basketball hosting Indiana tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena. And what better way to get yourself ready for the game than to stop by and see 93.7 The Ticket, just about a block and a half away from the arena. Join us for Old School at Lincoln's newest brewery. It's Salt Mine City, located at 8th and R, directly next to the Hilton Garden Inn. Get your pregame for Nebraska, Indiana's 7 o'clock tip with great craft beers at Salt Mine City, including the Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, Mrs. Bumstead Blonde Ale, Big Red Porter, $6 IPA drafts today only. 4 to 6 p.m., Old School at Salt Mine City at 8th and R. Stricky and I are going to finish up on the block. We'll head down there. At least I will. We got pregame. It's a big one tonight, Stricky. Just really quick, Nebraska, Indiana headlines. What are you watching for out of the Huskers tonight?
Rebound, and I'm not talking about rebounding the ball. That is an important thing. That is an important thing too. But I'm talking about how they rebound after taking a drubbing up in Breslin in East Lansing. And how did they maintain it? What's their mental state? You're talking about a long break. That means you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to get in the weight room. You're going to have to put in the film time. You're going to have to. You would have had to practice after that drubbing. How was that? Were you more effective? Did you add some things? I would venture to say I hope that they added some things to an offense to me that I still believe you're not using or taking advantage of the fullness of what you have on your team. Mm-hmm. Your personnel, I think, sometimes should dictate some of the things that you should add or make some additions to your team. I think they need to do that. What we saw exposure. How are they going to adjust to the exposure? When I'm saying the exposure, I'm talking about the exposure of not being able to create shots for themselves or for others especially like in a season. The team said, we're locking him down. He's not getting a sniff. He's not getting a breath of air, any space. And they did that. But we weren't able to see how they were adjusted to that and to find ways to get guys involved. And so it was an all-around drubbing. What are they going to do? Because Indiana's a pretty good team.
Indiana's solid. Maybe not as good as their talent would indicate, though. One of the best transfer classes in the country. A lot of respect for Mike Woodson as a coach and as a player, right? What he did in the NBA. But Strick, Mike Woodson's Indiana teams look the same as Archie Miller's Indiana teams. That look the same as late era Tom Crean. What it's been for Indiana is the floor doesn't always get spaced. They're shooting like the 335th most threes in the country. Only 170 through 10 games, 17 attempts from three per game, shooting 36% on them. But do I think Mackenzie Mbako is going to continue to shoot 43% from three? I don't. Mid to upper 30s, sure. 43%, I don't think so. So to me, Strick, it comes down to really three matchups. Juwan Gary's got to be locked in early on Mackenzie Mbako.
Facts.
I want to see how Braxton Mia and Umar Ballo, the transfer from Washington and the transfer from Arizona, there's familiarity there. How do those guys go back and forth? And maybe the most important player in the front court for Indiana is a guy Nebraska's really familiar with, Malik Renew. The lefty, got that elbow game and down, can stretch the floor, and not where he's most comfortable. If Berkay Boyukton plays, he's got to run Renew's legs. You got to use Boyukton as a hub a little bit offensively. Otherwise, Renew's going to go off. Size-wise, it's a pretty even matchup, but I think the front court is going to be what determines this game tonight. Nebraska beat Indiana 3 times last year, and it was because Nebraska's front court, despite rink mass not playing well, stepped up, neutralized Indiana's front court, and the guards just did their thing.
Well, it's going to be a unique matchup, but on top of that, they better take care of the ball because that's what they're scrappy, they're active, they're going to get after it. So they've got to make sure they take care of the ball, minimize transition opportunities, easy opportunities, make them take tough shots, and then hopefully rebound and get easy and good shots themselves. We saw their assist numbers drop dramatically in the last game. Want to get back on top of that, rebound and got killed on. So in every area of the game, they got dominated in the last game. So you want to see a recovery there.
One of Indiana's 2 losses this year came to Louisville. Chucky Hepburn had arguably the best game of his college career. I think 16 or 19.
Went for 30, 14. Didn't he? In that game?
Was that the one against Indiana? I thought that was the next game.
Oh, that was
West
the one
Virginia.
against West Virginia.
I think he had like 16 points, 14 dimes, and I think 6 steals against Indiana as well. The guards are a little loose with it, but Chucky's also an all-ACC caliber defender. On the ball, he poked at it quite a bit. What Louisville did, Strick, was they weathered Indiana early, and then across like the first 4 to 6 minutes of the second half, came out really strong. They led at halftime, but Indiana, for being a little bit of an older team, you can still tell they're trying to find themselves. They're still trying to gel. The chemistry is not exactly there. Indiana has a lot of pieces, a lot of guys that can step up and stop a run, but they all tried to do it against Louisville. Shots weren't going down. And that's where I think, to your point, Nebraska coming home, crowd should be behind you. Primetime tip-off, 7 o'clock on a Friday. Hopefully people come out despite the weather. But Nebraska has a great opportunity, right? This is a team against Indiana. Like I said, you beat them 3 times last year. You don't think Indiana remembers that? You're crazy. Woodson remembers that. Renew remembers that. Trey Galloway remembers that. Anthony Leal, Gabe Cupps, all those guys were still around, and they added some top-end talent. I'm really fascinated by tonight's matchup. And then Eric says, don't forget about women's volleyball in the Sweet 16 later tonight.
Yeah, it's another
Nebraska
game.
and Dayton and Strick. I hate that these games are at the same time.
I hate that too, bro.
It's so dumb.
It is. And listen, I'll probably have the game on in the game, watching it as well.
Popped up at some point.
I will say this, Austin. That is one of the things that I think I like about sports. Yeah, you feel me? Today.
Yeah.
With social media and the different platforms that you can still watch. Like, you used to be able to hear games by way of radio. This is probably why Mark Cuban made a whole bunch of money with, the sale to Yahoo with it was something.com.
AOL?
No, he had a name to it. Broadcast.com. That was what he had. And you could listen to all the games and stuff like that, but now you can actually see them. You can be one place and for me, I watch multi-screen, so I could watch multiple games at once. You know what I mean? So that's the good thing about what we're going to be able to see. Shout out to the women. I hope that they are able to get it done You may not like it, but I Creighton did already get it done, but we're hoping that the Huskers continue on to get it done as well. Who do you think has the most favorable bracket, though?
So that's what's interesting is that Nebraska will obviously host tonight, and then tomorrow Creighton's on the road.
Yeah.
So I think you would probably lean Nebraska for that. But here's the interesting part, Stricky. Game 1 tonight is Wisconsin and Texas A&M. That's a good matchup. Nebraska's already beat Wisconsin twice, swept Wisconsin twice. Maybe Nebraska, forced Wisconsin into off nights, but Wisconsin probably won't play as poorly as it did the first time in Madison again. Even in Lincoln, not peak Wisconsin volleyball, right?
Mm-hmm.
They finished a game back of Nebraska and Penn State in the Big Ten standings. I always hate having to play a team 3 times, especially a team that you have so much history with, like Wisconsin, that knows you like the back of their hand and who you know like the back of their hand. So I think it's set up pretty well for Nebraska. I so badly want to see Nebraska versus Trev Alberts again. It's been too long since we had that conversation. Let's go, Ags. Find a way, pull through. Hopefully Trev Albert makes his way up here for the weekend. But Strick, that being said, it would be so very sweet for Nebraska's path to the national championship game be beat Dayton, beat Wisconsin, and then you don't even care who comes out of the other side. If it's Penn State, if they win tonight, or Creighton, you can't even call it the revenge tour because Nebraska beat these teams. So that, to me, should Nebraska find a way to win, would be Nebraska kind of flexing, right? Reasserting dominance. We are Nebraska volleyball. You're getting better, but you're still not on our level. So if you can promise me that Nebraska beats Wisconsin in an Elite Eight match, and that Nebraska beats Creighton or Penn State in the Final Four, yes, I will absolutely take those matchups. But if you can't promise me Nebraska wins, I want no part of that.
Well, let's continue on with the discussion. Since we're in Nebraska, we've been talking about Nebraska NIL. We've been talking about those situations. One question that I would have for you, Allison, how do you judge Nebraska's performance based on the numbers that you're going to share with me right now? How do you judge it? Show me the number. Well, tell me the numbers first, because I still think we're behind.
Mm-hmm.
I personally still think we're behind, Austin. I think we've still got a lot of work to do. I still think there's others that are doing a little bit better. Do you think it's been the mediocrity of what Nebraska football has been that has minimized its acceleration in the NIL space, or do you just think that people are tired? They're like we've been sold the dream for now going on over a decade more,
Mm-hmm.
and at this point they're just tired, and they've got fatigue
Mm-hmm.
that we're not able to get to that level, or is just our alumni base just is not expanded as most in the space, and so it really puts us at a disadvantage. How do you view it?
I think there's a little bit of everything going on there, Strick. And I want to preface this entire conversation that we'll either go for 10 minutes or maybe we'll spend next segment on this too, because I think it's interesting to dive into. I want to preface everything that we're about to say here with something that Matt Rule said yesterday. He said, or was it yesterday? That was yesterday.
You played the presser,
yeah,
right?
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rule said, don't believe everything you read or hear. Bill Belichick said the same thing about his 400-page manifesto, Bible, list of demands, whatever, right? I don't know if this is what Matt Rule was talking about, or if he was talking about rumors online, or if he was talking about potential rumors with coaches or players or transfer portal. I don't know what Matt Rule was referring to when he said, be careful what you read or hear. But right after he said that, or somewhere very close to it, might have been right before, might have been right after, he went in and thanked 1890 for doubling down, for giving their support to the program, says they've been nothing but great for the program. Okay, fine. Makes sense. You're going to have to say that, they're your collective. They're the ones bringing you money. So whether or not it's what you want it to be or not, you're going to tell them thanks for doing a great job. But we saw some numbers published from NIL-NCAA.com. When you scroll down this list, Stricky, you got to get through 28 other schools before we find Nebraska at number 29 in terms of collective funding. Nebraska's collective funding, according to, again, NIL-NCAA.com, $7,973,918. Total support.
Say that again.
$7,973,918.
You're 13 million short of what the best team in your conference is at that point. Go ahead.
Just
Just to start.
To that point, Ohio State, number 2 in the country at 20,250,000. Then you have Michigan at 16.3. You have Penn State at 13.7. Indiana at 13.6. Michigan State at 13. Scroll down. Oregon is now a school in your conference. They're at 10.6. Probably a low estimate for Oregon, to be fair. Iowa.
Some backyard deals going on there.
Tricky. Iowa at 9.7.
Wow.
Okay. Washington at 9.4. Illinois 9.3. Wisconsin 8.9. And then Nebraska at 7.9. 1683. Okay. And 1255 say it's a bogus report that's already been discredited. Are you actually believing this? We're just operating. We don't know. I haven't seen that it's discredited. I haven't seen that it's great, right? We're saying hypothetically, if these numbers are true, because then you go to total support for Nebraska, $48 million. And this to me, Strick, again, if this number is true, $48.5 million for Nebraska compared to $123 million total for Ohio State. Ticket sales for Ohio State, much bigger stadium than Nebraska, right?
Well, they're at like 100,000.
100 plus. Same with Michigan and same with Penn State, who lead in ticket sales. Ohio State at 59 million, and then for Nebraska, 38 million, right? I don't know if these numbers are true, right? Maybe this would be a good time to stop talking about it, but I think if these numbers are true, it's fascinating because think about how many other Big Ten schools we listed ahead of Nebraska here,
Well,
right?
one, just Indiana.
Just Indiana.
Just even on that note, and you look at the success that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm just saying.
And Indiana definitely made some more contributions with Cignetti, right? Season like that goes a long way, and I'm sure these numbers were reported before that.
Yeah.
But you got to up it. Point being, we talked about expectations yesterday, Stricky. If this list is true, if these numbers are correct, it makes a lot of sense for why Nebraska is where it is. And we can put specific numbers aside, right? I'll even close out of the report, not even look at it. But my read on the matter is that Nebraska is trying its best in NIL. But think about where we're at, Strick, middle of the country, right? The financials just aren't the same as they are for a Phil Knight, as they are for one of the largest alumni bases in the country in Ohio State, for a leading school academically like Michigan, right? Nebraska's in the neighborhood of Iowa, of Wisconsin, of Illinois, right? Those are the schools that, hypothetically, in terms of NIL, are Nebraska's nearest competitors. It is more likely to me that Nebraska stays in that neighborhood than Nebraska jumps up to the 15, 30, 20, or 15, 25, $30 million range in pool, right? The 20 million is already in the athletic department through the ticket sales for various sports. They got to rebudget, right? Some expenditures are going to have to go away because that 20 mil or whatever, 20 mil and change is going to go to every athletic program, not just to football. But if Wisconsin and Iowa are your neighbors, that doesn't mean you stop there and say, oh, sorry, we're screwed. That's where we're always going to be. Then the challenge becomes, how does Nebraska do more with less? How does Nebraska stretch its money further? You have to have a plan. You have to identify correctly. You can't afford to make bad adjustments. And 6869 says, time for the wealthy donors to step up. Here's the thing. I think they already are. I think that's the majority of what's going on here. My guess is Nebraska's tapping into a lot of the biggest revenue sources it possibly can already. And that's, again, just another kind of disadvantage. Number of millionaires in Nebraska, a lot different than the number of millionaires associated with Michigan or Ohio State or Oregon or USC.
Yeah. Yeah. We got work to do. This is ultimately what it comes down to, man. We've got a lot of work to do, and time is of the essence, but it just depends on how you want your program to look like. What do you want it to look like?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to compete?
Yeah.
That's what it's ultimately going to come down to. And do people have the fortitude to go the extra mile right now? Or do you need to see more? What does the people think? 402-464-5685. Do you need to see more before? Okay, let me just say it like this. Do you have the feeling of blind loyalty and just, look, we believe ultimately in the whole program and who's leading it and who's involved and so forth and so on. Okay. Or do we need to see some results before? Here's why I say that. We just came out of an election, and we saw now, and I'm not saying this is Nebraska, so don't get me to it, but I'm just saying, what is your mental state of feel?
Mm-hmm.
Because we just came out of an election in which the Kamala Harris campaign sold a lot of dreams to their people. They sold a lot of dreams of, we're in this, only to find out that you got landslided, right? And you have over $1 billion to work from, and yet you're in a $20 million deficit. Do you look at Nebraska from that standpoint, or do you say we're in it to win it and you're willing to go the extra mile? Because it's got to be one or the other. If you're teetering in this mid zone, it's not gonna get any better. You either got to be all in, or are you viewing it from a standpoint of that fatigue or that mental state of seeing and not seeing the results, even from what you're working with? Are you willing to go the extra mile? Because others are. So that's all I'm asking.
That is fascinating because, Strick, there's a text from BJ in Wichita. He says, I think Nebraska fans are conservative by nature, and the idea of outbidding for player services and winning that way doesn't appeal to them. They want to win the old school way. I think there's a lot of truth to that, right? I think that you want the university to represent the people of the state, right? That it should adhere to a lot of the same values, operate the same way, and be something that the people in the state can be proud of. But sometimes also the university has to be the leader, right? Tell people, hey, this is the new way of the world. We're not disrespecting you by moving on or doing things a different way. But for us to continue to deliver the results that you want, we got to switch up a little bit. Okay, I think both of those things can be true. And that's where I guess my next question would be, is it the chicken or is it the egg, right? Times are tough, right? Inflation's real. It's a thing. Still coming out of the pandemic. That's not that far behind us. We're still trying to reckon with that. And there's a lot of change on the horizon as well, right? But here's the thing. There's always change. To me, Nebraska needs to identify, when is it going for the gusto, right? Does Nebraska want to win a national championship in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years? Or, Strick, would you rather have Nebraska wait out this era of change? Nebraska doesn't know exactly what's going on. So what's Nebraska going to do? They're going to try to keep pace, do the best they can, but they're going to sit back, kind of lay in the weeds. Hey, this isn't our era. We're going to try to play by these rules, but if it doesn't fit us, we're going to try to hold our head above water. Then when the tide goes back out, when our feet can touch the bottom of the ocean, we can walk back to shore. That's when we'll make our money. I'm not going to discount any of the national championships outside of maybe Michigan's with Connor Stallions, right? I don't want to do that. College football title is a college football title. But this is an era of change. I would rather see Nebraska continue to bite the bullet now, save up money for, here's the thing. All this change will come to an end. There will be an endpoint. There will be a decision, and there will be calm and quiet, relatively speaking, in college football again. I know that's hard to see right now, but it's going to happen. Probably in my lifetime, it's going to happen, right? Things will calm down. Things will quiet down. Some Husker fans say, no, go all in. We should try to win every year. There's no reason to hold off. But the reality of the situation might be fans can't give right now. Fans don't want to give right now. And Nebraska might be better served by getting by, doing enough, trying to do more with less for now, so that in 20, 30 years from now, they're in a super stable situation. They know what the rules are. They know how to play by them. Then they can spend that money and go to work.
So here's one thing I'll throw out before we go to break. Is Nebraska, two things. Should Nebraska internalize and make this a situation so that they can understand what their budget is? So bring like a 1090 internal, make it a Nebraska internal thing so it's not an external thing? Okay. And should Nebraska, should they, oh, well, no. We see that there's a deficit because our stadium is not as large as some of the others. So you're already looking at seats that are going to put you at a little bit more where you're making more money.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nebraska creative enough?
That part.
In how to generate. And this is where I think we're lacking. I think we're lacking in the creative department and figuring out these different ways in which we can maximize not only the opportunities for the student athletes, but also how we can maximize bringing in more revenue to help out in the difference that is there based just on ticket sales alone.
Mm-hmm.
Are we lacking in that department as well? Or should we also internalize like the 1040? What do you think can help us to make sure that we get on par with where we need to be?
Text line questions for you. Let's go to break. We'll answer it when we get back.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wilbur-Clatonia Schools, home of the Wolverines, reminds every motorist that students will soon be out of school for holiday break. Give those kids a break, spelled B-R-A-K-E. Drive at sensible, safe speeds, and while driving, stay off your cell phone. Remember, most accidents occur in parking lots, so avoid the holiday rush when behind the wheel. Over 600 students are enrolled at Wilbur-Clatonia Schools, an equal opportunity education provider. Check out their website at wilburclatonia.org for their school calendar. And in the hustle and bustle, please consider a small donation of toys to your local donation centers.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to huskerfantravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or huskerfantravel.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Our annual Teddy Bear Toss Night is coming Friday, December 13th, as the Stars host the Tri-City Storm at 7:05 at the Icebox. Wear your favorite ugly sweater to the game and then bid on the Specialty Stars game-worn ugly sweater jerseys after the game. Secure your seats for our last home game before Christmas now on December 13th by heading to LincolnStars.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco.
And who is it? Nebco?
Nebco.
1908.
Fourth generation, family owned and operated. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we love Nebco.
NebcoInc.com. I'm Austin. He's Strick. Partner, care to ask the question you asked before break again? Set the table for people.
So my question was, is Nebraska at a point where we need more creativity in the area of generating and making up that difference by way of just ticket sales alone? Are we doing enough there? And then secondly, do we need to internalize and bring like 1980 type, or maybe not even, but bring it in-house to where now it is actually working with us, and then there's a better understanding of what the budgets are and who's giving what and how it's all being disseminated, and that connection stays pretty, internal. Because I think Nebraska has to get out of the mindset of being reactive to things that are happening in the space. We've got to be more creative and seeing and visionary as to where things are going, get out on the cutting edge of that and begin to interact in those spaces prior to it getting there. And if it doesn't get there, you're already ahead of it. Let that put a pause on it, move you back, redirect, pause. Let it put a pause on it, redirect, and move it to another direction, as opposed to, oh, it's happening. Oh, now let's try. We've got to get out of that. We've got to start getting ahead if we want to get back, because that's part of what made Nebraska great in those early times. They were really good at dealing with Prop 48 and dealing with transfers and getting people on campus. And, Dennis LeBlanc and everybody down at the academic center were really active in getting ahead and making sure that people were able to get their grades and their situations right, so that we can get them on campus, get them eligible. And then other people weren't doing that back then to that level. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the other part of that, Strick, is, yes, I agree. I think Nebraska can always shoot to be more innovative. And I think that when Nebraska was having its success, it was, right? It wasn't necessarily in the financial realm, but it was with strength and conditioning, with weightlifting, even academics, right? With Prop 48, finding ways to get players on campus, coaching them through academically, getting them eligible. And here's the other part of this, Strick. Nebraska wasn't necessarily playing with big money before, right? When did Nebraska's fortune start to change? When Texas got involved. Texas University and the state of Texas. Corn money, cool. Cow money, awesome. It ain't oil
Farm money, great.
It ain't oil money.
It ain't oil money.
Runza money, Valentino's money, love them. Will continue there till the day I die. Ohio State has an NIL deal with Chipotle for all its student athletes. They're not the same. Think about the Big Eight. Think about really just the Big Eight, right? Nebraska's competition was Oklahoma. A Colorado pop-up here and there. Kansas State, under Bill Snyder here and there, but not the same investment. Kansas, not the same investment. Iowa State, not the same investment.
Yeah.
Missouri, not the same investment. Oklahoma State had the money, didn't always know what to do with it, right? Was better in basketball than football for quite a while. When Nebraska was in the Big Eight, there weren't these big money schools from either coast or in the Great Lakes region with some pretty historic universities to compete against. So Nebraska's advantages could come on the field, could come with Devaney and Osborne in weightlifting and in the option and revolutionizing how offense is run and in player acquisition. Right now, where teams are finding advantages are monetary. And no matter how hard Nebraska tries, and I want to believe Nebraska is doing its best. I really want to. I'm sure you can always, trim the fat, tidy up the budget, and use your money more efficiently. Any business would probably tell you that, right? But I want to give Nebraska credit for trying. I want to tell the people that have donated to 1890 and to the university, your contributions aren't in vain. You are doing your best. It is noticed, and I'm sure it is appreciated. But sheer numbers and sheer volume tilts that away from Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska didn't have to deal with Ohio State, in Michigan, in Penn State in the past. Pretty prestigious universities, a lot of money, big stadiums rolling into those. When Nebraska just had to focus on beating Oklahoma in a similar money game, but those are the two fan bases that really cared and were at the top of that conference, that's where Nebraska felt like it could innovate. Now, Nebraska can't innovate on the field. It can try. That only makes up so much of the gap because you haven't been successful. So you got to spend more just to get back even. And you don't necessarily have more to spend to get back even. So you're always playing chase because everyone caught up to your advantages.
Gotcha. That's all I can say, Austin. Austin, you laid that out so smooth that all I can do is stick my hands up and say, gotcha. There's where we're at, man. It is. It's the way it is. But here's the other thing about it. I think Oklahoma's finding themselves in the same situation right now.
Right.
Once it got to a spot where it was really it was just a monetary thing. I just think that just in the same likes, they're just like they're Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like us.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. They're just like us.
Gorilla Bear, no, I am not trying to ruin your weekend. What I don't want to say is that all hope is lost, right? Yes, Nebraska found a way to win 6 games. Iowa is in a similar financial spot, supposedly, to Nebraska, a program that won 8 or 9 games. But here's the other thing. Iowa knows who it is because it's been in the Big Ten the whole time. Iowa is intimately familiar with Ohio State and with Michigan, right? It's been in the Big Ten basically forever. Nebraska is still trying to figure out who it is in the Big Ten, who it is in the landscape of college football, and it's facing an identity crisis right now. I'm not going to say it's hopeless, right? It's never going to be hopeless. Nebraska can absolutely compete, but it's going to take, if you can invest more money, you got to invest even more manpower, even more hours, even more blood, sweat, tears, whatever it is, just to give yourself a chance. Money isn't the end all be all. It never has been and it never will be, but it sure as heck helps. It does. And here's the other thing, Strick. We've gotten this on the text line quite a few times. Ben is saying Warren Buffett asleep at the wheel. How do we get Warren Buffett to buy in? Mississippi Mud Dog says, easy. Give him the Warren Buffett School of Business. Better name than College of Business. I'd be willing to bet that nobody has dialed him up and asked him what it would
That's
take.
a fact.
You think Nebraska hasn't called Warren Buffett about this?
You would hope so.
If they haven't, it is a glaring oversight, and
You would hope
everyone
so.
needs to be fired and we need to start over.
You would hope so.
But it goes back to your original question, Strick. How is Nebraska innovating? Warren Buffett made his money by being a savvy investor, by not putting money into projects that he didn't think were going to work. You need to give a man as savvy as Warren Buffett a reason to invest in Nebraska. Just saying, hey, you're born in Nebraska and you live in Omaha, so give us money, please. It is so easy to spend other people's money. It's why we are so good at free agency from over here. It's why we are so good at trades from over here. It's why we're so good at hiring coaches. If Nebraska hasn't asked Warren Buffett, shame on them. I find it hard to believe Nebraska hasn't asked Warren Buffett, and now they got to show him a reason to invest. They got to show him. He's not just going to say, oh, yeah, I'm feeling like it. The wind's blowing a certain way. Here's a tenth of my net worth. Go make it work. That's not how this works. As nice as it would be, it's just not a fact.
It's not. And to what level does he have the connection outside of being connected to the Omaha area, right?
He did graduate from Nebraska.
So that's even more why, how come you don't put him in the same category of, like, he doesn't have, if I remember, he doesn't have much heiress to follow.
Not much, as far as I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So how are you not positioning yourself to be in that space? Like, he's a multi what is his worth? I know he's behind Elon Musk, but I know he's in the like 80 frame.
Warren Buffett is worth 143.7.
There you go. Bruh. How are
billion
you not?
US dollars.
How are you not positioning yourself for even 1B?
8th richest person in the world.
There
There is money there for him to spend on the Buffett Cancer Center and all these other Buffett
Yeah.
centers and Nebraska,
Yeah.
which makes me wonder, Strick. This is just hypothetical. Stop me if I'm talking crazy. Did Nebraska maybe shun Warren Buffett back in the day when the football program was good? Say, nope, we're rolling on our own. We're kind of insulted. This is all you want to give us out of your net worth. We're good. I don't know.
Wow.
Because at this point, if you don't have maybe you do, right? Maybe you do have investment from it's just behind the scenes. We don't know it's coming from him, but either it's not as much as we thought.
Yeah.
Or you're not using it the way you're supposed to if you're getting it at all.
Good point.
I don't know.
Good point. We don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that, but it's definitely sad. It's definitely sad that we're not able to, you have a resource that's still here in the Regency area, and we don't know him on the same level as a Phil. Now we understand
He's not on the front
that
page of everything.
he's like Phil Knight is definitely Nike. It's definitely sports related. So we understand that tie. Maybe, Buffett's definitely business related wise, but if this didn't happen, we've done ourselves a disservice as to not carve out some form of a niche to that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's unfortunate if we haven't done that.
Preach. We got a quick break to take. We'll be right back. Wrap up hour 2 of On the Block. Wrap up the week of On the Block and get you set up for a remote broadcast for Old School from Salt Mine City at 8th and R.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Our annual Teddy Bear Toss Night is coming Friday, December 13th, as the Stars host the Tri-City Storm at 7:05 at the Icebox. Wear your favorite ugly sweater to the game and then bid on the Specialty Stars game-worn ugly sweater jerseys after the game. Secure your seats for our last home game before Christmas now on December 13th by heading to LincolnStars.com.
Make the short drive to Pleasantdale and enjoy a great meal at the P-Dale Pub. From prime rib, patty melts, ribeyes, drink specials, and so much more, the P-Dale Pub provides a small-town feel with exceptional service and delicious food. Visit the P-Dale Pub in Pleasantdale today and watch their Facebook page each week to find out their dinner specials.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. You know how much I love beer, and this game day, show your Husker pride with Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of the Nebraska Alumni Association. Brewed by Nebraska fans, for Nebraska fans, Dear Old Nebraska Brew is your go-to for every kickoff, touchdown, and celebration. Whether it's tailgating, watching the game at home, or gathering with friends, this beer is there to bring that perfect game day refreshment. Dear Old Nebraska Brew embodies the spirit of Nebraska with every sip.
So crack one open and let the good times roll. Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of Nebraska alumni. Please drink responsibly. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back one final time here for the week of On the Block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. We aren't going to be too long because we got to get you out to Salt Mine City for a remote for our friends on Old School. This segment normally is the crossover, brought to you by our friends at League One Volleyball. They begin their inaugural season in Omaha, January 24th at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Get your tickets online at lovb.com, and you get to see former Huskers Jordan Larson, Justine Wong-Arantes, Maddie Kubik, and Lauren Stivrins in action. All right,
I'll be in the building.
In the building?
Yeah.
Out in the hizzy?
Yeah, it's right down the way
it.
from me. Ralston Arena it's a good intimate environment. It kind of reminds me of the old school Okie State. But I'm hoping that y'all pack it out, man. I'm definitely going to enjoy my time there. I think it's a good way to get away and just watch some good professional volleyball. And obviously we're excited on a lot of things that's happening with the volleyball. But then to add on to that after it's all said and done, yeah, man, I'm gonna be excited about it. Games start tomorrow too, don't they? What? No, we don't start tomorrow. When is it? When is the playoff game start?
Next weekend.
It's next
weekend.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that too.
Here's the real question, Stricky. 2 Nebraska games tonight. You got volleyball. You got men's basketball. Huskers go 2-0.
I'm rolling.
You rolling. You heard it here first. Out of the mouth of Eric Strickland. It's been a great show. Thank you guys for chiming in. Sorry we couldn't get to all your texts. You guys were on a roll. I'll respond to some before I head down to Salt Mine City for the remote for Old School. Big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of On the Block. Again, if you're a mechanic looking for work, looking for a new career, new job, new place, check out nebcoinc.com, constructorslincoln.com, or a CDL driver for Ready Mixed Concrete, readymixedconcrete.com. For Strick, I'm Austin. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back with you momentarily from Salt Mine City at 8th and R for Old School.